Coming up on this edition of SUTV News, the flu hits the NDSU campus.
An update on Menard Hall.
And in sports, Bison Track and Field breaks in their new facility. Welcome to SUTV News. I'm Adam Kempenek.
And I'm Allie Weary. With influenza being on the rise and arriving earlier than usual, health officials worry that it could turn into an epidemic.
In fact, Sanford Hospital in Fargo is restricting visitors. SUTV News reporter Kayla Reamer tells us the spread of the flu could get worse before it gets better.
Body sweats, high fevers, fatigue, and headaches are all symptoms of the influenza. Dr. Tracy Malberg says compared to other years, this year's is different.
Much greater numbers of overall influenza, and the death rate this year from complications of influenza is higher than it's been for some time.
The annual seasonal flu vaccine is the best way to reduce the chances of you getting the influenza.
Sort of pattern to influenza this year. It does appear that in the ballpark of 90% of the cases of influenza that we've identified are preventable with this year's vaccine.
Dr. Malberg says there are many steps you can take to prevent the flu. Getting the flu vaccine, washing your hands, and avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth are all good steps to take. Also, avoiding contact with sick people and staying home when you're sick is a good idea as well.
The flu is typically spread through droplets, so one person coughing or sneezing, the large droplets are typically how another person would pick it up. And people are often contagious for several days before they have symptoms and can be contagious for up to 10 days.
This is Kayla Reamer reporting, SUTV News.
Doctors suggest children, people over the age of 65, and pregnant women all get their flu shots because they are at the highest risk.
Even though they may still be relocated, professors in the Department of Communication are continuing to be recognized. Dr. Ross Collins has been named one of the top 50 journalism professors of 2012. Collins spent 3 years teaching in the area before coming to NDSU in 1993. As a professor, he maintains his own website, rossfcollins.com, to give his students added resources.
As the herd traveled to Frisco, Texas for the national championship game, some took the time to roam the streets and enjoy the town. SUTV's Allie Weary has more on what makes Frisco a unique city.
As the fastest growing city in the country, Frisco, Texas has a lot to offer. The growing process, however.
It's hard to put it in perspective if someone has never experienced that. Building and opening 4 to 6 schools every single year is interesting to watch. Along with that growth, of course, everything else explodes. Office buildings, residential, retail. So they consider us retail capital of the world in Texas.
Mayor Masso attributes the success to the city's approach.
Frisco itself specifically, we're a very well-balanced community. Some cities really focus on one thing, and they're really good at it. Well, we try to be really good at everything we do.
Which includes knowing how to prepare for the herd's arrival.
DVB worked closely with the Alumni Association, and we contracted with Dr. Pepper ball field, out there at the Rough Rider Stadium.
Frisco has proved just how accommodating it can be.
It's a designed city that is made to be accommodating of people visiting, of people coming and going. A lot of great restaurants, a lot of great new sporting venues, as you point out. You couldn't ask for a better, more cutting-edge environment.
It's clear to see why the entire community gets excited for the game.
It's top-level football. I mean, we can never forget this is the only true football championship in the college level in the country. These teams and these student athletes had to work really hard to get here, and they had to go through a playoff system, which is not easy.
And as for the Bison in the city of Frisco,
we all make a pretty big impression.
After the Bison football team's back-to-back national championship, the NDSU bookstore is responding. The NDSU bookstore is allowing fans to have their picture taken with the FCS championship trophy. Many students are visiting the bookstore for the unique picture opportunity. Carol Miller, the bookstore director, told Fox News they didn't prepare for a loss and were confident in a win.
I think that is awesome, and it gives the school some publicity and hopefully helps for more students to come. here.
And good. I went to every home game last season, this season, but missed out in Frisco again, sadly. So hopefully a three-peat for next year.
The NDSU bookstore is also featuring green and yellow "I Was There" wristbands to remember the championship.
Coming up after the break, SUTV News sits down with NDSU Body President Luke Broder and Vice President Jace Beeler after this week's 7-day forecast.
Watch SUTV News on Cable One. Produced by students of Bison Information Network, we promise to bring you all the latest news and sports from the campus of North Dakota State University. Watch SUTV News on Cable One Channel 14. Brought to you in part by Stop and Go.
Hey, I'm Alex.
I'm Austin.
And I'm here to tell you about 15 on 15.
It means MapBus arrives every 15 minutes on Route 15, from downtown
to around town. Find out more about 15 on 15 at mapbus.com.
Check it out on Facebook and Twitter, keyword MapBus.
It's so fast and convenient.
There are way more than 15 reasons to check out 15 on 15.
I ride MapBus.
And I ride MapBus.
And you should too.
SUTV News is brought to you by Stop and Go. Stop and Go. We're always there.
Welcome back to SUTV News. As spring semester begins, wondering what comes along with it is only natural.
Allie sat down with their student body president and vice president, Luke Broder and Jace Beeler, to find out what's in store.
So let's go ahead and start off with Bison 101. That was one of your key platform issues that you really wanted to get going.
Yep, so the first one we had was really successful. We were really happy with that event. That was the one where we went to the Fargo Dome and kind of had that pep rally before the first game. We had about 400 students there, which was really successful. We were really happy with how it went. Over the break, though, we're kind of evaluating where we want to take things with this next semester. And the underarching issue behind Bison 101 was retention. That's a big thing that's getting talked about at a system level and a state level right now. And so we realized that although Bison 101 was geared towards trying to help those freshmen get more engaged, and the whole idea is that they'll feel more part of something and want to stay at NDSU, we weren't reaching the number of students that we wanted to reach.
And you talked about issues facing students as part of a problem with retention. What are some of those issues? Can you elaborate on those a little bit?
Yeah, it's really hard to say. Actually, sophomore retention is actually the biggest issue we have right now. So it's students that are transferring out. There's a dropout rate issue. And so we're trying to actually find what the cause of that really is.
One of the reasons we had Bison 101 and one of the ideas behind it was to get students more involved through organizations and whatnot, so that way they felt that connection to the university, and that's one of the ways that we really wanted to try gear towards that retention and help in that sense. So maybe outside of the classroom, they felt connected with the university as well.
Now let's move on a little bit. What are some of the issues that you guys are working on specifically this semester?
You know, right now, obviously, we're getting ready for the legislative session in North Dakota is in full swing right now. And so that's one of the things, well, the main thing that we're working on. Our governmental relations and intercollegiate affairs executive is in Bismarck right now, and he's there every day to speak on behalf of NDSU.
In the Senate, at this time of year, there's always that budget surplus. Are any big projects that student government and Senate are working on that might go to?
Yeah, actually, there are quite a few projects that the senators have ideas in starting or have already started.
Is there anything on the platform that you guys haven't accomplished yet but are really close to that you want to get out there? You know, we're almost there.
The National Student Exchange was a big program that we got a lot of students excited about. That process took all the way through the summer, all the way through last semester. And then during Dead Week, actually, we had the representatives from the national organization came to campus. And fortunately, they were impressed and they were happy. And so starting off this semester, we're going to be members of that program officially. And so the last final steps are to start recruiting a few students, start advertising to see if there's a few students that want to go on exchange next fall.
I think another one, the Aquatic Center, obviously that was one of the sexier topics that people talked about, but that actually just went through the Senate, and some of that reserve fund that you were talking about was used to kind of start that process.
The plans for a new aquatic center will be finished and placed on the ballot this upcoming election.
May sound scary or too serious, but one psychologist at NDSU might change your mind. SUTV's Nicole Johnson introduces us to the Director of Counseling.
Bill Burns works mainly with students at the NDSU Counseling Center.
I always say it keeps me young. Plus you get to see problems, since that's what we deal with. You see problems all the way from really childhood problems all the way up to adult problems, because we're seeing a wide range of people.
Burns deals with drug-related problems, stress, anxiety, and other serious topics, but he loves to see students come back.
Or they've gone to graduate school and been successful, or we watch them graduate at graduation. I think those are the best things that we can do. Get people through, retain them in school, and help them graduate.
He takes a different approach than many other psychologists.
My personal style is more of a coach, probably more of a, like you think of an athletic coach. I kind of be more that way than a pure psychologically oriented person.
Not only does he teach healthy habits, but he has his own.
I'm a runner, so I run marathons and things like that. That's my stress relief. I go to the Wellness Center and play basketball with the students. That's one of the things I do that's fun.
One coworker appreciates how laid back Burns can be.
He helps kind of pull me back from that, like, Jaren, it's okay, like, it's good enough, like, you don't have to have all of that stuff included.
Bill's advice to students:
I would say, come on in and give it a try.
You can find Bill Burns here at Ceres Hall. Nicole Johnson reporting, SUTV News.
The Counseling Center provides free services to students and faculty. They cover personal, academic, and career-related concerns.
After years of construction and displacement, some NDSU faculty are moving back home. We'll show you more after this week's campus calendar.
Jitters is your home for quality coffee drinks. Whether you crave an espresso, iced coffee, mocha, or macchiato, Jitters has just what you need. Now featuring breakfast foods like caramel rolls, bagels, and more, be sure to get your day started right. Located on 12th Avenue North, Jitters has a friendly, relaxed atmosphere with Wi-Fi capability to get all of your studying done on time. Get your fix only at Jitters.
Watch SUTV News on Cable One. Produced by students of Bison Information Network, we promise to bring you all the latest news and sports from the campus of North Dakota State University. Watch SUTV News on Cable One Channel 14. Brought to you in part by Stop and Go.
Hey, I'm Alex.
I'm Austin.
And I'm here to tell you about 15 on 15.
It means MapBus arrives every 15 minutes on Route 15. From downtown
to around town. Find out more about 15 on 15 at mapbus.com.
Check it out on Facebook and Twitter. Keyword MapBus.
It's so fast and convenient.
There are way more than 15 reasons to check out 15 on 15.
I ride MapBus.
And I ride MapBus.
And you should too.
Welcome back. A month ago, NDSU's Menard Hall had its north wing completed during construction.
Now the push to get the psychology department back into their new office is underway. SUTV's Nate Manning looks at the impact the new addition has brought to NDSU.
When Menard Hall collapsed in 2009, major changes had to be made. Now the north wing is complete and the NDSU psychology department finally has a new home.
What this does for us finally is it gives us enough office space so that we can house everybody, and enough laboratory space so that everybody has room to do their research.
Although professors and other members are now moving into their new offices, there is still work to be done. Menard is still far from completion, and getting everybody to where they need to be is proving to be a challenge.
We're trying to get people moved into where they are going to stay, gradually as we're ready to do that, and so we won't have to move one more time.
Although the psychology department is finding comfort in the new addition to Menard, the NDSU communication department is not. Their offices mostly still reside in Ely Hall, but there is optimism surrounding its time to move to Menard.
When Menard is done, we will be a department that is absolutely focused on student learning. We'll all be in one place. Quite honestly, we'll be better than ever.
Menard inches completion daily, and that gives everyone a reason to rejoice. Nate Manning reporting, SU TV News.
A realistic goal for Menard's completion is sometime this summer.
For those who prefer cleaner air, avoiding cigarette smoke can be quite the hassle, but with a new measure in place, it might be one less thing that North Dakota citizens need to worry about. Measure 4, also known as the smoking ban, has recently taken effect across the entire state. It has been deemed one of the strictest smoking laws in the country. This new law, amending the original North Dakota Century Code, outlaws smoking in many locations and most sidewalks.
I don't see a lot of impact on NDSU. I think we were way ahead of it by having our on-campus smoking ban since 2010.
While police officers can intervene if they receive a complaint, it's ultimately the building owner's responsibility to enforce this law.
With the flu becoming an epidemic this year, it's become increasingly important to stay healthy.
This week's Sidewalk Stampede set out to find the best tips to fly free of the flu.
The biggest ways I help prevent the flu is I make sure I hand sanitize, I go to bed at a relatively decent time, and I take in a lot of vitamin C. Those are pretty much things I do.
I try to eat healthy every night, and I wash my hands crazy, and I try to make sure I get a decent amount of sleep every night if I can.
Well, I got my flu shot a couple of days ago, and when I was in there they said, oh, they're running out of flu shots, so I'm lucky I got it when I got it. And just not running into the people with the flu.
I drink orange juice. I try to avoid people with the flu as much as I can.
us now is sports anchor Jake Cheetah. Now, Jake, how are you preventing the flu?
I do what a lot of those guys said. I get to bed at a relatively decent time, and I drink a lot of juice to keep my vitamin C up. When we return, we'll take a look at a very hot basketball team. This and more when we return with SUTV Sports.
More than 400 million people use Facebook to stay connected with family, friends, and colleagues, in addition to the millions of others who use Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and Flickr for networking purposes. While Facebook and other social media sites are great tools to help you connect with friends and build networks, you should also be aware of the potential dangers associated with using these tools. So, let's talk tech. First of all, always be mindful of what you and your friends are posting online. Nothing online is private, no matter what security settings a website may boast. Anything posted online stays online. So take time to consider what you and your friends are putting online before you post it. For example, do you want your potential employers or your current boss to see embarrassing pictures that your friends have posted? There is also the question of how much information should you disclose on a social media site. Posting too much personal information could lead to lost job opportunities, harassment, internet stalking, and identity theft. Don't publicize information that the public doesn't need to know. Finally, you should think about who you want to see those things you've posted online. By evaluating the appropriateness of the privacy settings on your social media site, it is recommended that you customize your settings such that only your close friends can see your personal information, such as your home address, email, and phone numbers. Ideally, this information should not even be online. Additionally, social media networks frequently update their security protocols, so be sure to review and update your security settings regularly. With these precautions, you will be well on your way to enjoying a safe and secure social networking experience.
Welcome back. The Jacksonville Jaguars have ended their search for a new head coach and hired a former Bison player and coach. Gus Bradley, most recently the Seattle Seahawks defensive coordinator, will take over a team that went 2-14 this past season. Bradley was a free safety and punter for the Bison from 1984 to 1988 and was on the Division II National Championship team in '88. He then took 2 coaching stints with NDSU from '90 to '91 and '96 to 2005. After that, Bradley made his move to the NFL, where he was the defensive quality control coach for the Bucs. He takes over a team which ranked 30th in the NFL last season in total defense. On another coaching note, NDSU tight ends and fullbacks coach Tim Polasek has been hired by Northern Illinois University as an assistant coach. Polasek coached at NDSU for the last 7 seasons and has had back-to-back seasons with 2 1,000-yard rushers. On January 5th, the Bison football team successfully defended its national championship against Sam Houston State. The Bison won the game 39-13. SUTV Sports sent reporters to Frisco, Texas to cover everything that went along with the trip, including in-depth looks at both teams, tailgating, and player interactions. The FCS Championship pregame show can be viewed online at ndsubin.com. Since a loss to the Minnesota Golden Gophers in early December, the Bison men's basketball team has been literally unstoppable. A win against Oakland last weekend would give NDSU 7 straight wins and keep their record perfect in the Summit League. Now to the BSA, Coach Saul Phillips with hopes of reaching the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2009. In the first half, Trayvon Wright knocks down a 3 from the corner and puts NDSU up early, 14-6. Oakland would have an answer as Travis Bader hits a 3 of his own. Oakland hangs around in the game. Late in the first, Trayvon Wright finds Bjorklund. He has an easy put in. He had 15 points on the day and puts NDSU up 12 at the half. At half, the national championship NDSU football team was honored. Early in the second, Bader was at it again, and he pulls up for an Oakland 3. He had 21 points on the game. The Bison would answer, though, as Trayvon Wright was too much for Oakland. He hits the jumper and had a career-high 20 points. In that game, Taylor Braun would break his foot and be out 4 to 6 weeks. The women also took on Oakland University in a last-second thriller. Katie Burkle put up 22 points, and freshman Holly Johnson was perfect from the field. But the real star was freshman Morena Whittle, who made a basket with 3 seconds left to give the Bison the victory. A new year brought a new facility for the NDSU men's and women's track and field teams. Friday opened the inaugural meet in the Shelley Ellig Indoor Track Facility, which faced some delays in the final few months of construction. The building was set to open at the beginning of the indoor season in November, but construction ran into a few snags. The Ellig facility has much more room for events, including 8 lanes instead of 6, 2 long jump pits, and 2 pole vault tracks. With the increased size, the meets will be completed much faster than they previously were in the BSA. The only thing that the teams are waiting on is more room for fans to sit.
In terms of places for spectators, we're limited right now. Eventually that'll change. But in terms of conducting the meet, yeah, it went very well.
Over the weekend, the first meet was held in the new Shelley Ellig Sports Complex. Senior Matt Tetzlav would win the 60-meter hurdles with a time of 8 seconds here. He holds the Summit League record this season. Junior Antoinette Goodman, fresh off of a top 40 time in the 200 meters, took second with a long jump of 19 feet. Redshirt freshman and cross-country standout Brecca Wayland had a mile time of 5 minutes and 4 seconds, and she took first place. The men and women would both win the tournament. It is great to see that the track and basketball teams are on track, no pun intended, to follow in football steps.
Yeah, but looking at basketball, how do you think Braun's broken foot's going to affect the season?
Well, the team, they're going to have a few slow games trying to fill in for him, but he'll be back soon enough, just in time for the tournament.
All right, well, as the semester started already, many students are looking for ways to get involved. When we come back, we'll show you how students are reaching out.
Jitters is your home for quality coffee drinks. Whether you crave an espresso, iced coffee, mocha, or macchiato, Jitters has just what you need. Now featuring breakfast foods like caramel rolls, bagels, and more, be sure to get your day started right. Located on 12th Avenue North, Jitters has a friendly, relaxed atmosphere with Wi-Fi capability to get all of your studying done on time. Get your fix only at Jitters.
Watch SUTV News on Cable One. Produced by students of Bison Information Network, we promise to bring you all the latest news and sports from the campus of North Dakota State University. Watch SUTV News on Cable One Channel 14. Brought to you in part by Stop and Go.
We're Force fans because we love coming to the games. It's very affordable and the whole family enjoys it.
We're Force fans because we enjoy coming to the Force games. It gives us something to do and look forward to every week.
This is Force Hockey.
Welcome back. Earlier this week, students and organizations from NDSU were involved in the semester annual org fair. This event allows students the opportunity to get involved on campus and a chance for organizations to gain new recruits. 108 organizations attended this spring's org fair in the Memorial Union, hoping to grab the attention of new students. No matter what your interest, NDSU has many different organizations to get involved in, from Greek life to student government. Organization leaders say the fair is a great opportunity.
I feel like in college, a community of friends is so important, and it does this for each student. They can get involved in a community or an organization.
I think this expo is a really great thing. In the fall, we have the big expo outside where students walk through. They can get involved right away with college, but the spring one I think is even more important because if you didn't get...
Thanks for watching this edition of SUTV News.
Be sure to pick up a copy of The Spectrum.
And check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Have a great night.